Hey there, friends. I am so excited to be using the brand new Shimelle Sparkle City collection, and I want to show you all of the beautiful pattern papers that come in this collection and what I'm working with today. So this is what I currently have in stock. The patterns are super beautiful. I love that there are three different cut apart sheets, which is really cool. There's flowers, there's cotton candy, there's simple geometrics. There's all sorts of amazing patterns and colors going on here. And I'm also going to show you, that's my favorite, I think. I'm also going to show you how this collection works with Shimelle's last collection, which is called Head in the Clouds. So Sparkle City and Head in the Clouds kind of coordinate together perfectly. This is such a fun specialty paper. So these are the embellishments I have right now. These are the die cuts, and some of them have the lenticular shapes, which are really fun. These are the sparkle rub-ons. How fun are they? An awesome stamp set, which I love, and just have to show you this close up because it's small and perfect for using in a planner too. And there are two different kinds of thickers, and they both have a color in the foam. So one is blue, one is pink, and this awesome chipboard sheet, which I just love because who doesn't love 12 by 12 chipboard sheet? And a pack of washi tape. I especially love the blue at the bottom. So these are the photos that I am documenting today. And if you know Shimelle, you'll probably recognize Wonder Boy with my daughter. And every summer we try to meet up in London when we're there during the summer to get together, get the kids together, and they have such a great time together. Even though they see each other once a year, they get right into the swing of things and start acting like two crazy people. And that's exactly what they did here. And I was lucky enough to document that with my big camera because I made sure to bring that along. So I'm just grabbing a few pattern papers here. I'm thinking that I really love that traffic jam arrow paper just because it has a lot of excitement and energy with all those arrows pointing different directions. Plus it has all the colors of the collection in it. But I want to back that with a more solid kind of pattern, something that has a lot of color in it so that it will ground that pattern. And I've chosen the red and pink polka dot pansy to back that. So what I'm doing here is just trimming off a quarter of an inch off of each side, and I'm going to back it with that polka dot pansy pattern. I love how you get a little peek of that pattern on all of the edges. Now, I want my photos to sit on something darker, so I've chosen the fairy lights pattern on the back side of this because this is kind of a geometric diamond pattern. On the back side is that gorgeous kind of twilight scene with the hanging lights on it. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this about, what is that, like 8 by 10.5, 10 3/4, something like that. And I'm going to make a big mat over here. Now it has been quite a while. If you guys have followed me for a long time, you'll know that pattern paper was always my bread and butter, and I loved mixing patterns and putting pattern on top of pattern and having an entire background of pattern, and it's been a while since I've done that, so this feels pretty awesome. I wanted to add in some yellow, and I just had this manufacturer's strip from one of the patterns that I've cut here to place under my photo, and what that's going to do is just ground my photo and just give it kind of a place for it to rest. I also have this pattern here, but I don't think it's necessary for me to cut a whole sheet. Oh, but I have this wider band here, which is kind of awesome. That's on the Perfect Day pattern paper. And I also love these big tags as well. So I'm thinking about using these cut apart sheets. I really love how versatile those are. They can provide embellishment, they can provide layers or journaling tags. There's so much you can do with those. So I just swapped that out for a bit wider, same color yellow, and that feels a bit better to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim out a couple of these tags that I think would be great to use for some journaling. Because once I get kind of my background established, where I'm going to place my photos, the next thing I always think about are my words. How am I going to document the story? What am I going to use? I usually like to either print on the background, which I can't do in this case since it's 12 by 12, or have something like a journaling card to be able to hold that story that I print out with my computer. So I have this pink tag, and I'm also going to cut out a red tag because I only have a little tiny bit of red poking out on the edges. I think we could use a bit more red. And I'm just going to snip the base with my scissors here to give it that nice banner shape. I also love that it says wonderful at the top and coordinates perfectly. There we go. So I'm going to place those somewhere like that. But I just found this yellow one, and so I'm going to swap the pink out for a yellow. It's just so I have a little bit of yellow below my photos and a little bit above. I also like the fact that it has the black and white stripe at the top, adding in a bit of that nice contrast there. And also I have kind of a line thing going in my photos. I have those fun horizontal slats of the bench that they were sitting on. And in that tag I have the vertical slats. Okay, so this is one place that I want to show you how great the Head in the Clouds collection coordinates. This is the Head in the Clouds journaling pad, and I love these pads in Shimelle's collection. I believe Sparkle City will also have one too. I just haven't received it yet, but it's kind of a rainbow design, lined paper, and I've put that behind two of my photos. I've just grabbed a chipboard piece that says delightful because now it's time for me to build my title. So once I have my pattern paper, I have my photos where I want them, I have my journaling tags figured out. Next important on my list is the title. That is my favorite part about creating a layout. If you know about my style, you'll know that I love creating titles, and I actually have a class all about titles at Big Picture Classes. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link in the video notes there. But it's just something that I love to do. I love mixing and matching fonts. I love to create really interesting visually titles. So my title on this one is going to be A Delightful, Wonderful Day, because it definitely was. And every time we get together each summer, it is a pretty awesome day. And if you have never met Shimelle before, I will tell you she is the most amazing, real person you will ever meet. She's awesome. Just love her. And I love meeting up with her every summer and getting our kids together for some crazy. So, here's one tip for you. If you're trying to get something off of pattern paper, use a spatula, because if you use your fingers, you're going to rip something. Especially with chipboard, it's easier to just pull the chipboard off of that sticky layer and then pull the sticky layer off, and then you can just use any kind of adhesive to add the chipboard back on. So I just want to scooch my title over just a little bit so that I have a little room on the end, and I'm kind of messing everything up right now as you do. So I'm just kind of getting it back together. So there's my title, A Delightful, Wonderful Day. Now, this is Head in the Clouds. Look at how perfect these cameras go with the Sparkle City collection. So another pattern here that you can use with Sparkle City, but really all of them will go. As Shimelle explained to me at Creativation, that Head in the Clouds is kind of a magical, whimsical collection, and Sparkle City is more real life collection, but they go together perfectly. So I just roughly cut out those cameras there, and I'm gonna clean those up in a little bit. I just want to get an idea of embellishment because after my title, embellishment is the next step. I'm grabbing this awesome Everyday Adventures chipboard piece from Head in the Clouds. So using Head in the Clouds there. And I love how that black piece kind of balances with the black at the top of the layout. So that one says Everyday Adventures. I'm also looking at the cardstock stickers for Head in the Clouds. As you can see, I still have quite a bit left. I'm just gonna fix that here while I notice it. I love those mermaids. I need to use those. I can't wait to use those. They're so cute. So I'm just taking a look here through my Head in the Clouds stash to see what other little bits and pieces that I could use. There's lots of really cute little stickers in that sticker book. Okay, so I have these rub-ons, and Shimelle was showing me at the show that these rub-ons are such high quality. These are not your rub-ons from like 2005, the ones that you would get so frustrated with that would never come off the backing. These are really fantastic, and once they're on the paper you can barely tell that they're on. Shimelle had done a layout and people were coming up and they thought that her rub-ons were actually a piece of pattern paper. That's how good they are. So I used Have Fun there, and you'll notice that Have Fun was stacked on top of each other, but I just cut the words apart to make them horizontal instead of vertical, just to make it work for what I wanted to do on my layout. So I definitely want to use this little stamp set because it is the cutest. And there was a stamp on there that said important, and I'm going to use that once I have everything else in place. I'm going through these super cute die cuts here. They really are the cutest, and look how well the cameras coordinate with Head in the Clouds. Super great. Love all the little birds. I love the city buildings. And these at the bottom are some of the lenticular shapes. And I'm going to show you how the city changes from day to night. Isn't that fun? This one, the car drives away with balloons coming out the rear. I love those balloons. Those are cute, but I don't think I'll use them for this one. This is yeah, oh, this one's fun. This is a cup that is full and then it goes down. This is super cute. Gotta love the American Crafts embellishments. They always come up with great things. So I put that other red camera up there, and I also think I'm going to move this Everyday Adventures piece here because then I'm going to create kind of a triangle shape of movement on my layout. So I'm going to pop that down there. What I'm going to do next is add some stitching, which you can see that I did there, just like magic. I'm going to put this layout together. So I added some dark teal stitching to the teal paper, just kind of a tone on tone, add a little bit of texture, nothing fancy, just went like half an inch around the outside. I'm using the American Crafts Sticky Thumb adhesive here. Super awesome adhesive, but I can't get a straight line most of the time. I really love how this is going together. So I've already added my journaling to the tags, and you'll notice there at the bottom of my yellow tag that my ink from my printer got on there, so it's a good reminder for me to clean my heads on my printer. And if you do any printing on your journaling tags, you'll know that it's really frustrating when that happens, but it does happen. So you just have to clean your printer heads pretty often. So on each of these photos, I am adding some dimensional adhesive. Just going to stick this journaling sheet down here. And it's really hard to tell in the video, but it is a really awesome kind of rainbow dotted lines. So they go really well with the um, traffic jam paper in the back. I really love this series of photos. I probably have about 15 of these photos, but I chose my favorite three. Um, yeah, my daughter and Wonder Boy just being ridiculous, and luckily I was there to capture it. So, as you can see here, I just used my scissors to snip a little banner edge on my title. And I do this a lot, but I love placing my title on something to ground it, like a strip of pattern paper or a brighter color. It really makes the title stand out, especially with that bright yellow. So I'm going to add these tags on too and put a little dimensional adhesive at the bottom so they look like they are coming off the page. If you saw the ends of my hair there, I apologize for that, but I really need a haircut. So just popping some dimensional adhesive under there. And then I'm going to put my little cameras down here, but I think I'm going to limit it to 2. Now, I have this frame from the chipboard, and it's kind of like a middle piece of the larger frame. And I thought it would be fun to put it around my middle photo just to make it stand out a bit. I'm just going to put a little piece of dimensional adhesive behind that photo edge. And I think I'm going to pull the wonderful word down a little bit because it is really having a hard time around that chipboard. This is definitely something I should have put down beforehand, but you know, when you get an idea, you just have to go with it. So that Everyday Adventures is again from the Head in the Clouds collection, and I love the way that it fits in here. So if you guys have Head in the Clouds in your stash, Sparkle City is a great collection to coordinate with it, and I love using what I have. It's like one of my favorite things when I kind of finish a sticker sheet or get to a point where I know that I won't use any more of it and I can just be happy that it's given me joy, right? It sparked joy. So I'm adding these little cameras, the one I cut out and the die cut camera, using dimensional adhesive and putting these two down here. Super cute. I love that they're sitting on that little Everyday Adventures chipboard. And then I'm going to offset that with that red camera at the top corner. Another dimensional adhesive dot up there. And let's put on these awesome rub-ons. I'm super excited that rub-ons are back. I don't know if you guys watch videos from the show. I did a lot for scrapbook and cards today, so if you want to watch, there's one including one with Shimelle where she's talking about Sparkle City. So I will link up to that in the video notes, so be sure to watch that one. It's really fun. And this would be helpful if I took off the backing. Super helpful. So you don't need any special tool here. You can use a credit card. I'm using a spatula. All it takes is something with a flat surface that that you can kind of push down on. So I added have fun and now I'm adding important. I'm just wiping it with a gum eraser to get off any of the kind of the stuff left behind in manufacturing. And right before I stamped, I noticed that it wasn't perfectly straight. So I wanted to fix that. Plus, the problem that I'm having is that it's quite thick with my chipboard there. So I'm grabbing the washi tape. I kind of have a camera theme going on here, so I'm going to continue that. And that washi tape is super fun, and it's just another layer to put underneath my title to kind of ground that. It adds a bit more color and pattern to my page. And I just have to put the word delightful on here. I'm going to use some glue here because I pulled off the sticky back before. And I'm going to my Head in the Clouds sticker book to grab some little heart stickers. Look how perfectly these coordinate. Grabbing teal and pink and a darker teal. Just seeing if there's anything else in here that I want to use. 3 is a good number, but there are also these awesome chipboard hearts on the Head in the Clouds chipboard. So I'm going to grab those two, a light pink and a dark pink. Then I'm going to go back to my die cuts. I love these little birds, and I think that the pigeon works because we were in London. There's lots of pigeons in London. I think that's why she did it. And this cloud is just really cute. And I don't have a reason for it. I just like it, and it adds a little something something up there. So I'm going to add this pigeon with a bit of dimensional adhesive. There we go. He's super cute sitting up there. And this little bird down here, he's just going to be flying. And I like the way that he goes all the way to the corner. So I definitely have kind of a V shape of embellishment here. The last thing I'm going to do is just grab these puffy heart stickers from Head in the Clouds. Again, they coordinate perfectly. I'm just going to use that little rainbow one because I think that's fun. And then there's a really cute star. There's lots of really small shapes in this stamp set, and the great thing about small shapes is that you can use them for embellishment. So I think this page needs a bit more black, so I'm adding some black stars. Love them. And I've kind of forgotten about this little area over here where my journaling is. It needs a bit of love up there. So a dark red heart finishes that area off. And then I think I need some texture. So I have a hole up here in this journaling tag, and I think it needs to be filled with something. So I have this bucket that sits next to my desk, and it's full of twine. Most of it's just cut, like random pieces that I had left over from a project. And so I'm using this teal twine here. This one's from Stampin' Up. It's their nice thick twine, and it's just the perfect length for me to add here. And instead of it going off the top of the page, I just pulled it so it goes down on the page. So just a little bit of texture. I love it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this process video as much as I enjoyed using Sparkle City with Head in the Clouds. Please be sure to check out Sparkle City at the link in my video notes, as well as Head in the Clouds, or maybe you already have it in your stash. And be sure to follow this feed if you want to see new videos using the American Crafts brand new collections for 2019. Thanks so much for watching and happy creating!